Welcome to Tower News Network, the official news broadcast of Villa de Chêne.
As the year comes to a close, let's take a look back on the many events from the past year.
The Tower News Network has been hard at work to recap the highlights from 2012 and 2013.
Let us start with the most recent baby battle between Kate and Kim. Madeline and Jasia, take it away.
Soon-to-be mothers Kate Middleton and Kim Kardashian have been conquering the media with their pregnancies. These style icons have been pitted against one another in a bump-off, a competition of who wore it best, who has the better baby daddy, and who has the bigger bump. Let's see what Villa thinks about these competitors.
Okay, so MJ, you know about the whole Kim versus Kate bump-off, so who do you think will have the better daddy?
I think Princess Kate will have the better daddy.
Okay, and who do you think has the bigger bump?
Oh, definitely Kim. Have you seen the size of it? Like, come on.
Alright, and from these pictures, let's see, we'll start off with this one. Who do you think is the best dress?
Oh, definitely Princess Kate.
Princess Kate, alright. And what about this one?
Princess Kate.
Princess Kate. And one more with the jackets.
Oh, I like Kim's jacket.
Kim's jacket. Alright, thanks so much.
No problem.
Okay, so Kelly, you know about the whole Kim versus Kate bump-off, so who do you think will have the better daddy?
I think Prince Harry would be the better daddy.
Alright, and who do you think has the bigger bump?
Kim.
Kim, most definitely. Alright, so I'm going to show you some pictures. So who do you think is the best dressed?
I would say Kate. She's more modest.
Okay. And what about with the red?
Kim.
Kim? Alright, okay. And one more with the coats on.
Oh, I like Kate's.
Kate's. Alright, thanks, Kelly.
No problem.
Okay, Trisha, so you know about the whole Kim versus Kate bump-off thing.
Yes.
So I have a few questions. Who do you think will have the better daddy?
Kate.
Kate? Okay, and who do you think has the bigger bump right now?
Kim.
Okay, and I'll ask you a few little more. So who do you think wore best with the red?
Kate.
Kate did. And what do you think about with the dresses?
Kate.
Okay. And then with the jackets?
Kim.
Okay. Thanks, Trisha.
Thanks, Madeline and Jasia. On a more serious note, the presidential election was held this year. Madeline McGrath will be telling us more on President Barack Obama's re-election. Now to you, Madeline.
This is Madeline McGrath for TN9 News. One of the biggest stories of this year was the presidential election. The election, held on November 6, 2012, was the 57th annual presidential election. The Democratic nominee, President Barack Obama, and his running mate, Vice President Joe Biden, were re-elected to a second term after defeating Republican candidate Mitt Romney and his running mate, U.S. Representative Paul Ryan. Even though Romney carried 24 of the larger states, such as Montana or Oklahoma, these states had little electoral value. The president carried 26 of the smaller but larger electoral value states, such as New Jersey or even Romney's home state of Massachusetts. Ohio is the state that won Obama the election. On November 8, 2012, Time magazine polled 1,000 voters over Twitter, and the reactions were definitely mixed. While Democratic supporters were overjoyed with the thought of 4 more years, and were anxious for issues such as marriage equality and an end to the war in the Middle East to be addressed, on the other hand, conservative voters were disappointed with the election results, mainly concerned with the endless government spending. In contrast to the initial sharp reactions on both sides, it is clear to see that voters all across the board are putting bipartisanship at the top of their to-do list, including both Democrats and Republicans, to put aside their differences and work together to address problems all Americans are concerned about.
Along with the election this year, an inaugurational ball was held for President Obama. Let's go to Peyton Breckel to hear more on this event.
January 21st, 2013 marked the 57th presidential inaugural ceremony since 1789, but the 69th time a president has been sworn into office. This inauguration began with the presidential swearing-in ceremony, the inaugural address, the inaugural parade, and many other festivities to honor the president. Although the swearing-in of the president usually takes place on January 20th, according to the 20th Amendment, this inauguration was set a day later this year. The day before the official inauguration, a private ceremony was held on that Sunday, leaving the other celebrations till the next day. Some of the people who performed at this event were the United States Marine Band, Kelly Clarkson, and Beyoncé. This sparked some controversy during Beyoncé's performance from numerous people claiming she had been lip-syncing the national anthem. Not only did Beyoncé's lip-syncing spark some buzz, but the fashion of the First Lady and her daughters did as well. The First Lady's attire for this day included J. Crew, while Malia also wore J. Crew, and Sasha wore Kate Spade. Mrs. Obama's attire from this day and the rest of the activities of those days will go into the National Archives. This is Peyton Breckel reporting for TNN.
Thank you, Peyton, for more information on this important event from 2012. Sadly, this year has not been all excitement. Tragedy struck parts of the country, especially in Newtown and Boston. Cooper Hudspeth and Sophie Tomaso have more on these events. To you, Cooper and Sophie.
Thanks, Margaret and Annie. On a more tragic note, we will now reflect on the Sandy Hook shooting and the Boston Marathon bombing, which both took the world by surprise and consumed the country with sadness and fear.
On December 14th, 2012, a gunman opened fire in Sandy Hook Elementary School, killing 20 children and 6 adults, including the shooter himself, Adam Lanza.
This event horrified many, particularly because there was an attack on young, innocent children. This event has brought great attention on the issue of gun control. On December 16th, President Obama held a press conference to announce his plan on changing gun control in this country.
He wants to see universal background checks for gun sales, reinstatements, and strengthening of the assault weapons ban, eliminating ammunition magazines to a 10-round capacity, providing schools with resource officers and counselors, putting more police officers on the street, and establishing stronger programs for gun trafficking. All of these were among many of his suggestions.
However, the President's amendment failed, 54 to 46 votes, falling short of the 60-vote threshold needed to pass. President Obama was clearly angered by this when he said, "All in all, this was a sad day for Washington."
Moving on to a more recent event during the world's oldest annual marathon, the Boston Marathon. 2 bombs exploded on April 15, 2013 during the race. Both bombs were placed near the finish line.
The bombs killed 3 and left 264 injured.
The bombers are 26-year-old Tamerlan and his 19-year-old brother, Dzhokhar.
Tamerlan, said to be the brains behind the operation, died in a shootout, leaving his 19-year-old brother to take the fall. Dzhokhar was found injured from the shootout and was immediately taken to police custody. According to The Guardian, Dzhokhar was charged with the use of weapon of mass destruction and malicious destruction of property resulting in death.
The government is still finding out more and more about the bombers. They are natives of Dagestan, Russia, a predominantly Muslim area. Dzhokhar confessed that other bombs were also part of the plan. Luckily, that plan was never carried out, but sadly, the damage in Boston had already been done.
We can only hope that no more tragic events like these will take place.
This has been Cooper and Sophie for Tower News Network.
Back to you, Margaret and Annie.
Thanks, Cooper and Sophie, for remembering those who lost their lives in these terrible tragedies. This year, Sister Normand announced that this school year would be her last. Maggie Schroeder and Michaela Dettinger have more on the new head of school. To you, Maggie and Michaela.
This year, for the Village Duchesne community, has been filled with many surprises. Not only is our principal leaving, but our head of school, Sister Lucy Norman, RSCJ, is leaving as well. In 2009, Sister Norman accepted a contract to be the head of school, which ends in June 2013. Over the past year, the Board of Trustees have been working vigorously to recruit a new head of school who is committed to enhancing Villa's outstanding educational program.
Finally, on March 8, 2013, the board announced that Elizabeth Miller would be the next head of school, effective July 1, 2013. The trustees unanimously voted to offer the position to Mrs. Miller following a comprehensive national search. They were particularly impressed with Mrs. Miller's commitment to her Catholic faith and her vision to immerse herself in the goals and criteria of Sacred Heart education.
Elizabeth Miller is currently upper school head at Hutchinson School, an all-girls school founded in Memphis in 1902. Her leadership responsibilities include academics, student life, advancement, and enrollment management. She previously served as a faculty member and registrar for PACE Academy, developing an Asian history curriculum for the independent K-12 school in Atlanta.
Mrs. Miller was called to independent school education in 2002 after a successful career in international business. She managed multi-million-dollar accounts for AT&T and conducted business negotiations throughout Asia. Mrs. Miller is fluent in Japanese and holds a master's degree in regional studies East Asia from Harvard University. Mrs. Miller will be moving to St. Louis this summer with her husband, Mark. Their boys, Kevin and Jackson, will be students at Oak Hill in the fall. There will be opportunities to meet the Miller family before the start of the new school year. This has been Michaela and Maggie for Tower News Network.
Back to you, Margaret and Ian.
Thank you, Maggie and Michaela, for that insight on our new head of school. It has been an exciting year with lots of exciting events.
Well, that's a wrap on our last TNN report. Thank you for tuning in to TNN all year long, and we cannot wait to be back next year.
Tower News Network hopes you had a great year and wishes you a safe and happy summer. This has been Annie Price
and Margaret Kavanaugh. See you next year.